In New Zealand politics, the issue of co-governance has become increasingly significant and increasingly controversial. Increasingly radical co-governance proposals are being put on the table. The Maori Party wants a separate Maori parliament. They want the entire political system and society to be rebuilt around co-governance. Tangata Te Tiriti and Tangata Whenua, the two sides of an institutionally and socially divided country. That is the vision of the Maori Party. Labour has advocated for and introduced more modest co-governance measures. The Green Party claims to want major co-governance reforms, but has stopped short of calling for a separate parliament. And the right wing is also obsessed with co-governance. They are constantly fear-mongering about it. The ACT Party wants to hold a referendum to redefine the treaty and crush the idea of co-governance for good. Co-governance is a major political issue and a very controversial one. At its core, co-governance tries to honour the Maori text of the Treaty of Waitangi. The Maori text received the vast majority of the signatures, so it is the true treaty. Co-governance seeks to give Maori control over their own affairs. This may sound good in theory, but there are some issues. The Maori people are heavily integrated into New Zealand society. This makes co-governance much more difficult than it otherwise would be. Most Maori have predominantly Pakeha ancestry. Many Maori have no connection to their iwi or their culture. A massive amount of integration and assimilation has taken place. If the Maori population was heavily concentrated in a few places, co-governance would be a lot easier to organise. I do not take issue with modest co-governance. A few iwi representatives on some resource management board. I am not bothered by that. But I do take issue with the desire to restructure our entire society in accordance with the idea of co-governance. I strongly disagree with these extreme co-governance policies. Ideas like a Maori parliament, ideas like masses of separate institutions, ideas like a society divided between Tangata Whenua and Tangata Te Tiriti. Maori face many hideous inequalities. Lower life expectancy, disproportionate poverty, disproportionate criminality, disproportionate incarceration. These inequalities need to be addressed. Some people think co-governance will magically solve these inequalities. I disagree. I reject the laughable idea that giving Maori control over everything will automatically make everything better for Maori. Winston Peters and David Seymour are the perfect counterpoint to this claim. Being Maori does not guarantee that you will further Maori interests. Giving Maori people control over Maori does not guarantee pro-Maori policy. Bad policy is bad policy, regardless of the ethnicity of whoever passes it. Good policy is good policy, regardless of the ethnicity of whoever passes it. Identity politics is stupid, and the idea of co-governance is identity politics. In politics, identity does not matter. Ideas matter. It does not matter if it is introduced by a Maori or a Pakeha. A good policy is a good policy. A bad policy is a bad policy. We should be pursuing good ideas, not being distracted by identity politics. And co-governance is just an identity politics distraction. We must choose leaders based on their ideas, not their identities. Co-governance is a form of mindless identity politics. Co-governance is usually justified with reference to the Maori text of the Treaty of Waitangi. The treaty is a complicated document in many ways. They say the treaty is a partnership between Maori and the Crown. But many iwi never even signed the treaty. So how does the treaty apply to all Maori? That is a very serious question. And how can there even be a treaty between ethnic groups? There can be treaties between individuals and organisations, but not ethnicities. That just doesn't make any sense. I do not believe that we should try to shoehorn the treaty onto modern New Zealand. I think we should try to address historical injustice. We should recognise that Maori never ceded sovereignty. We should address the hideous ethnic inequalities that plague our society. We should pursue some level of partnership. But we should not tear everything down and rebuild our society around the treaty. We should not divide our country institutionally and socially. A Maori parliament and a Pakeha parliament, a Maori law and a Pakeha law, tangata whenua and tangata te tiriti. They want to rebuild our country around ethnic divisions. They want to cement and intensify ethnic divisions. I oppose this agenda. I oppose this extreme co-governance. Your ethnicity should not define your place in our society. I reject that view. I think that is a very stupid and very dangerous way of constructing a society. I believe in a civic nation, a nation that anyone can be a part of regardless of their ethnic heritage. A nation that welcomes good people and treats them as equals regardless of their background. That is the nation that we must pursue. One great unified nation, not a divided, broken nation.